Hello and welcome to VuTalk, a podcast brought to you by VuWall. I'm your host, Michelle Dawn Mooney, and today we are talking about simplifying video wall design, management, and operations, and have a great guest for that conversation today. David Bromberg is Director of Business Development USA for VuWall. Thank you so much, David, for being with me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Excited to get into this conversation. Before we do, can we start off with this? Can you give us a little introduction, who David is, what you do, and where you're based?
Sure. I'm based on the West Coast in Southern California. I'm the Director of Business Development USA for VuWall. I've got a great team of partners that I work with, both internally and externally. And yet we don't have any real borders, so I'm involved with everything coast to coast and beyond. Anything U.S. related, I can be involved in. Yep.
Wonderful. So a lot to get to today. Let's start off when we're really kind of diving into VuWall and what they do. Talk about VuWall's sales strategy and approach if you can. What is the impact on your end users and your reseller community with regard to basically the ease of doing business with VuWall?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we've kind of disrupted the industry just a bit in terms of how we go to market. We broke down the barriers. We broke down the borders. We no longer work with regions or in respective regions. We're looking at the country, the U.S., and all of our end user customers and dealer partners holistically. So the approach to market is business development, application engineers, sales support, all working as a team to support the end user customer. Not really concerned about how we work internally as much as how we work externally, giving them the kind of support that they really need. So an end user, an integrator can call me or any one of my counterparts at any time of the day, basically, and we'll be able to pick up the phone and support them. It's a unique go-to-market strategy, sales support, and application engineering support strategy, and it's working out extremely well.
And as you said, really no borders at this point because you're really kind of expanding exponentially to a point, right? So let's talk about the technology and solutions involved here. How are they aligned with your sales strategy that you just mentioned?
Sure. So the technology and solutions are really designed, as I mentioned before, we have such a focus on the end user and our dealer partner community. These solutions are designed with those folks in mind. So it's one thing for a company, a manufacturer like VuWall or others, to design outstanding software and hardware solutions, but it's something else when it actually gets into the hands of the end user. Once the integrator leaves that installation site, and we were there on site commissioning the system right alongside them, it's really in the hands of the end user. So we design our solutions to be extremely easy to use, very reliable. We need to keep in mind that these systems, these solutions are going into mission critical environments. 24/7, 365 use. Downtime is unacceptable. But also ease of usability, in addition to reliability, is paramount. So when we go to market, when we take a design to market, whether it's software or hardware, we make sure we do that with the end user use case in mind. So he or she can sit down at their operator station and know how to use the system, create layouts, save layouts, recall layouts, with simple drag and drop functionality, with zero programming, zero code writing.
I'm curious to ask what that looks like with regard to implementation. Can you give us any insight there? Because, clearly this is not simple, what we're adding in. It's very complex and a lot of moving parts, but you're making it as easy as possible, as you said, for the end user. Can you tell us what that looks like?
Sure. So typically we'll get our hands on an opportunity, an end user will contact us or we'll contact them, meet them at a show, et cetera. And we walk them through the entire design process from concept to actual design, building out the quotes, building out the bills of material, all of the line drawings. And then once we get to the point where it's deployed, once our integrator is involved and they offer the final quote to the end user, the contract is awarded, we'll go on site and make sure that our application engineer is there commissioning the system along with the integrator, not only commissioning the system, but we train the integrator and the end user customer on how to use the software as well as the hardware. So when we leave site, we have 100% confidence that they're good to go, and they are 100% confident that they know how to use our system. Additionally, if there are any questions post-commissioning, post-installation, we and our team, along with our integrator partners, are here to help and support them as well.
Talking about that confidence level, in summary, can you highlight your key differentiators?
Sure. So as I mentioned before, we don't have any programming or code writing. That's a big deal, especially in these mission critical environments where it's not always easy to come on site, to bring a dealer in, to come in and write additional code to build a new layout. The end user can do this on the fly at his or her workstation. If they need to save, create, recall changes, it's all drag and drop operation. Our system itself is very centralized and extremely flexible. So we are open source on the source side, regardless of the source type that's coming in. It could be IP cameras, it could be H.264, HDMI, web browsers. It doesn't matter what the source type is, nor does it matter what the destination or display type is. That could be LED wall, that could be LCD or via projection. We are completely agnostic to both source and display. What VuWall does exceptionally well, and I'm very comfortable saying I think the best in the industry, is we take those sources and we route them. And we're able to offer via our software, TRX, which is the software platform, the ease of use, ease of recalling layouts, designing systems, designing layouts, and making it as simple as possible for the client who's actually using the system every day, 365 days a year.
Hearing about it is one thing, seeing is believing. We know the phrase, right? So how can we see your solutions either in person or online?
Thank you for that question. That's a great point. More often than not, we will invite an integrator or a dealer, an end user as well, into what we call our live demo system. A live demo system gives us a very unique capability where we can spend 40 minutes or so with a client online, where from our Atlanta offices here in the US, we're hitting 4 independent walls up at our headquarters in Montreal. We're not only hitting those walls, but we're showing them the user interface and how simple it is to build layouts, to save layouts, to push content around to different walls, to produce simple alerts, to recall anything that they need to recall that has been previously built into the system. And we do this via our demo system. It's not always easy to get on site with an end user and bring content and hardware out to their site simply because of the access issues that sometimes there are within mission critical spaces. So we're able to invite them in to a live demo where they can see the walls in use in real time. And it gives them a firsthand look at how simple the system is to use, and they can begin to envision their operators sitting at their workstations using our software to manage their daily tasks.
As we're wrapping up here, any final thoughts and maybe where you would like to send people if they have questions about our conversation today? Sure.
I mean, our website is a great resource. There's plenty of great content on the website. That's VuWall.com. If they're interested in a demo, simply go to VuWall.com/demo. And if you'd like to contact any one of us here at VuWall, you can just go to VuWall.com/contact and fill out a simple form. We'll make sure to get back to them very quickly.
David Bromberg, Director of Business Development USA for VuWall. David, thank you for your time. Exciting to hear what VuWall is doing and expanding, as you said, outside of the box and out of those boundaries, so to speak. So appreciate your time and appreciate the conversation. I'm sure a lot of other people did as well.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in to VuTalk. It is a podcast brought to you by VuWall. Of course, as David said, you can visit VuWall.com for more information there. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast if you'd like to hear more engaging conversations like the one you heard today. I'm your host, Michelle Dawn Mooney. Thanks again for joining us. We hope to see you soon.